the June 12th meeting of the Johnston County Board of Commissioners to order. And welcome everyone who is here tonight. We again have a full room. As a comment at the last meeting, it seems like budget season. We have a full crowd. So it's good to see everybody and good to see those just know you're there. If you're watching on our live stream on YouTube, welcome to you as well. And I do want to open up with a prayer and a pledge as is customary. So I've asked Commissioner Ted Godwin to lead us in the prayer and Commissioner Tony Braswell to lead us in the pledge. So if you would, please rise.
Let's pray. Father God, we're thankful for the blessings of this day. We're thankful for the blessings of rain this afternoon. We're thankful for the blessings of being in Johnston County. As we go about the business of Johnston County and working on our budget, we ask for your guidance, your wisdom, your grace, your strength. Forgive us our shortcomings. Bless each one here and each family. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd like to say, beginning here, we say one nation under God without a pause, because it is one nation under God. Okay? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Please be seated. All right, it appears that the first and only item on our agenda tonight is the proposed fiscal year 2023-24 county budget discussion. And the purposes of the meeting is to allow those who wish to come forward and speak to us to do just that. So I'm going to start out. We did have at least 3 groups who had indicated they wanted to come and speak to us. I will start off with Partnership for Children. Good evening.
Good evening to you all. Thank you very much. I'm Suzanne Johnston. I'm chair of the Board of Directors of Partnership for Children of Johnston County. And this is our other board member, Allison Boyd. Greetings to you all. I really want to begin by thanking you all for the allocation that you made to Partnership last year. It means so much to have the support of our local county commission for the work that we do. The Partnership is really the hub of all that is happening for young children and their families in our county. We serve children birth through age 5 through a wide variety of highly effective programs designed to get kids ready to succeed in school and in life. We're part of the statewide Smart Start Network, and we work closely with many local partners, businesses, public schools, and pediatricians. Our vision is bright futures for Johnston County children. Our staff are out in the community every single day to deliver on that vision. I'm not going to go into all the wonderful programs happening at the Partnership because you've received a proposal from us with lots of information and data on our programs already. But I want to take just a minute to talk about the impact that these funds have had on the young children of our county. The Partnership is focused on the first 5 years of a child's life because they lay the foundation for all learning. I know we share the same goal of getting all our kids ready reading on grade level by 3rd grade. That work starts at birth. The baby recognizes your voice while they're still in the womb. Children are already recognizing and mimicking patterns in language at 7 months old. We call it babbling, but it's a huge part of brain development. This is the time when reading to our kids, responsive parenting, and great learning environments make the biggest difference for a child. The brain is most flexible and adaptive to learning during the earliest years of life. The work we do to coach, train, and support parents and child care providers in a child's first 5 years sets the foundation for a lifetime. We truly have the data to back that up. If we want kids who can read on grade level, who will graduate from high school on time, and who can be part of a strong workforce, we have to start right at the beginning. The Partnership for Children has been around since 1997, funded by several sources, including state and federal funds, private donations, and support from you all. And again, I thank you for that. The name Partnership comes from the fact that we are a public-private partnership between government, business, and nonprofit sector. It really takes all of us working together to make sure our kids have the great start they need in life to succeed in school and build a strong workforce in Johnston County. Our board of directors is made up of people from all the sectors I mentioned, and thank you for being a strong partner. Again, I want to close with gratitude for the support of the county commissioner for the Partnership for Children of Johnston County, and for our youngest citizens. If you have any questions, we'll do our best to answer them.
Any questions?
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How many children are involved in your programs?
Oh,
Ballpark.
okay, let's thousands, but
Well, yes, so we administer and make sure that NC Pre-K, the wonderful program that prepares children for kindergarten throughout the county, in addition to parenting programs, there are one-time and ongoing programs in our libraries, in our parks, in our schools, including preparation for kindergarten. So there are hundreds, if not thousands, of children have been touched by our programs, either through parenting classes, by story walks, and by classes preparing them for kindergarten and for life.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
So what is your specific request in money?
100,000. 75,000 for the early learning initiatives of Read to Grow, which the Read to Grow is the one that we have been working on with all the different healthcare and pediatricians, things to work on getting us up to grade level reading. At NC Pre-K, 15,000. Safe Kids, Johnston County, 7,500, and Family Support Services, 2,500.
Do you still have a waiting list for those who pre-K? Years ago I was on there, but I'm not anymore, and I know there was always a waiting list.
Yes,
Yes, sir, there is. And there is specific need in specific areas of the county that we're trying to meet those needs by equipping teachers, making sure that classrooms are prepared to meet the curriculum needs of NC Pre-K, and also just the general growth in the county, making sure there's daycares and centers that provide NC Pre-K are prepared as well. But we do have a waiting list, yes, sir.
So the waiting list, what happens to them?
Do you want to speak to that? Or I shall.
Yeah, please go.
Well, we seek to place children in the closest center that meets NC Pre-K needs. If children are not within those areas and cannot get transportation to other areas, unfortunately, they will not be served. So we definitely want to expand the need, to meet the need by expanding the services, mostly providing teachers and space. So these funds will make sure we can equip more teachers and we can make the space possible to have more classrooms in the areas of need.
Thank you.
You're welcome, sir.
Any other questions? All right, thank you both.
Thank you very
Thank you
much.
for having us and have a good evening.
Next up, we have Princeton Tar Heel Little League.
Thank you all for allowing me to come. My name is Scott Creech. I'm the current president of Princeton Little Tar League in Princeton. We are a registered 501c3 nonprofit organization, civic organization that provides youth sports to the Princeton community and surrounding areas. We are 100% volunteer ran. We have no paid staff at all. We are 100% registration and our concession stand funded. We are not tied to any town, any county, any funding at all with that. We offer about 7 different sports to our communities. Other organizations, Special Olympics comes to use our facility for softball practices. We have church organizations that come out and use our facility. Our Princeton Middle High School comes and does some practices on our fields. We have 4 fields that we currently have. We were created back in 1962 with our first field. Field number 1 is what I call it. And there was a building built at that time, cinder block building, and we have a lot of things that are in disrepair at this point in time. Our registration numbers have grown tremendously. Back in 2020, we were sitting around 445. Last year, we had 856. We're projected to be over 900 kids this season in all our sports. Like I said, we are 100% funded through registration and concessions. We try to keep a little bit of funding, around $5,000 on hand at all times, but we're starting to get to a point where we need some repair done on our buildings. We had to tear down our Field 1 restrooms because they were just in such bad shape. The roof was falling in, the windows were broke out, the doors wouldn't shut. So we had someone to donate the time to come out and tear that down for us. And that's basically what I'm here for tonight, to look for some funding to help build that in other areas. We have some repair on our other buildings. The metal is coming off. Roof on one of our dugouts is coming off of it. Our fields are they're in decent shape, but they need some grading so to drain whenever it rains. So what we're here for is to ask for $100,000 to help with our construction of our ADA restrooms on field number 1. We've already got 4 bids. We've got a local developer, J&N Developers there in Princeton, that are willing to step up and help us. They're going to do everything at cost, but everything is still coming back around $100,000. And that was before we found out we had some septic tank issues. So that's going to add another $10,000 to $15,000 on top of that. We are out asking for donations from local people that are helping. We've got good people in our organization that help. And we're just looking to see if we can get on your budget at $100,000.
Any questions?
Yes. At any given time, which when you got 4 fields.
Yes, sir.
You got teams playing and teams waiting.
Yes, sir.
At any given time, how many people would you have on that, in that facility?
I'll give you just Monday night is probably our slowest night. We have all 4 fields operating, 2 games per field. Start at 6:30. They run to about 9 o'clock. We could have anywhere from 500 to 700 people, and that's a slow night on a Monday night. T-ball night, there's nowhere to park. I mean, we are maxed out with our facility. Like I said, we had to tear down that 1 restroom. We had to bring in porta potties for people to use. Folks are having to walk down to our concession stand, which is about 150 yards to get to the nearest restroom. So it's busy now.
And I've been at the facility, so I know,
Yes, sir.
but you have, I think, 1 stool in the men's room and 2 urinals, and that's it?
Yes, sir. That's it.
Wait, that's all we got now to handle 500 people?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. And like I said, we do bring in temporary restrooms. You know, they've been there for T-ball, but they're going to be leaving, so they do cost us quite a bit of money per month. So we're just looking for some help to get that done.
Scott,
Yes, sir.
does your registration fee, is it the same no matter where you live?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We don't charge any different.
No out of county?
No, sir.
Second question, is the town of Princeton helping with this project?
No, sir.
I guess I need to ask them why, rather than you.
Well, we're outside of city limits, and we've talked to Mr. King. He's very helpful, but they don't have us in their budget, and they never have had us in our budget.
But do you have kids that live inside the city limits?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, sir.
In Princeton that go out there?
Yes, sir. Oh, absolutely. I'd have to say probably 80% of the kids live in the Princeton area, go to Princeton schools.
But it seems reasonable to me that they also should.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree. We'll take any help that we can get, but there's, that conversation never got very far in the past.
This is probably an unfair question.
No?
How much of an impact you reckon this Little League program's had on state championships from Princeton?
Well, state championships would be a little, because they've won a couple baseball state championships,
Yeah.
softball, but they're always close in football.
Yep.
We have a tremendously strong football program at the Little League level. The high school kids come over, help out all the time, participate with us, bond with the kids. We have a great relationship with the athletic director.
Sort of like a partnership, you got to start them when they're young.
Yes, sir. We catch them when they're young, and we train them.
1992 and 93, they won the state
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
state
Yeah.
Softball,
I knew
a
that
few years
they-
ago, volleyball.
Yeah.
We offer all those sports. They come through us. So.
Yeah, I've actually coached on that field, and I actually won the county championship for Little League on that field
Been a lot of games out there.
many years ago.
Yes, sir.
But you know, the thing of my concern, you ought to have different revenue streams to help you if you are performing a duty that benefits, and I'll say both, the town and the county.
Yes, sir.
If you're benefiting those, they should contribute.
Yes, sir. We've always been fairly self-sufficient, and we do operate. We're okay operating-wise, but something big of this nature, there's no way we could fund it.
And football is very expensive, right?
The registration is still the same, but the actual equipment, yes.
How much is registration?
$88
For every
for
sport?
every sport except for cheerleading, because cheerleading covers two seasons. It's $150, but that goes to cover the whole uniform. We put about 56% of our registration back into uniforms, so they'll have something very nice to wear and keep. Then the rest of that money left over goes to buy concessions and pay for umpires and referees.
I don't know. Commissioner Gomes, would you ask how many kids go through your program? A year?
This year, we're projected about 900. Right now, we've had 582 sign up so far. We haven't done football registration, or we're in the process of doing football registration. We still got fall baseball, softball, volleyball, and then basketball. So we're going to probably over 900 kids. And we've got 20 board members that are 100% volunteer, and I work out there 40, 50 hours a week, during the season, to get things done, to save money as much as possible.
Is the basketball program part of your organization?
Yes, sir. Now, we do play at the Princeton Middle and High School facilities.
Yeah, I know.
That's a partnership that we have. They use our facilities to do some of their practicing, so we use their facilities to play some of our games and practice. So we got a great relationship with the school and the athletic director.
Good.
So,
Any other questions?
anybody else have any questions? I had a few. One is to make sure the 100,000 is for bring the restrooms into ADA compliance, or is there more than
No,
just
to
that?
build them. There's nothing there now.
Okay.
Yeah, to actually build them.
So there's no restrooms?
No,
toward
sir.
both of us, so just one restroom?
We have one main concession restroom, which is about 150 yards away from where where we're planning to put it. This is field one.
So there's nothing there now, and you need this
There's 2
to...
porta potties right this second.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right, the other is, I know you got an open space grant from...
We do.
From us. What is that going
That-
to? How much and what is that going
We were awarded $53,000.
Okay.
At the time when we applied for that, and we're going to use some of that as well, we did not realize the septic tank issues that we had. We were assuming that we were going to be able to hook on to our previous septic tank. Well, that's not going to happen. So now we have to redo all that, have a new septic tank. And what we're hoping is we're going to try to build it as cheap as possible using our labor, any volunteer labor that we can get, and take any money left over to try to put on our other buildings to bring them up to where they need to be, shingles and things of that nature. Those buildings have not been maintained over a while.
When did you receive the open grant?
We were awarded it about 2 months ago. We have not got any of the money yet.
Chairman, I've got one
Well,
question.
let me finish one more. So we have any number of similar organizations to you. So what makes this one different from the others who have the same issues you have? You have a large
think-
number of kids serving a large community in town, out of town, and so what makes you
We're
different?
unique, other than, I think, Cleveland area, that we're not tied to any municipality. We don't get any funding from nobody other than people who are signing up for our athletics. We do the best that we can with what we got. We haven't been here, I don't think, I've done some research through word of mouth, but I think it's been decades since the county's ever gave the Little League any funding outside the open space grant. I'm hoping that you will see that we are a good investment because our town, anybody knows the Princeton area, is growing dramatically. Subdivisions or houses are being built, and they got to have somewhere to play. There's no park and recs in the town of town of Princeton, so they all come to us.
Yes, sir.
The property where you propose to build this, who owns the
The
property?
Little League.
You
Yes, sir.
actually own the
Yes,
property?
sir.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We are outside. We're in the ETJ of Princeton, but outright we're probably 200 or 300 yards right outside of the city limits.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I make a motion.
We're not
at that point now?
No.
All right.
No. As soon as we're listening to that, it'll be in our budget on the 19th. So.
Okay, I believe in this project. I want to make sure.
And I hope y'all do too. I mean, we do what we can as volunteers. So, any other questions?
No, sir.
Thank y'all very much for the opportunity. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, next up we have Triangle Land Conservancy.
Hello, I'm Leanne Hammerbacher. I'm our Director of Land Protection and Stewardship for our eastern area of Triangle Land Conservancy, which includes Wake and Johnston County. I thank you for the chance to speak this evening. Last time we spoke, our organization thanked you for your support in this year's budget, which helped TLC protect over 500 acres of land and leverage over $4.4 million in matching funds. The county dedicated $625,000 to direct land acquisition last year to Triangle Land Conservancy. We are returning tonight to request funds be added to next year's budget to support additional land protection efforts. TLC kindly requests an additional dedication of $820,000 in county funds for land acquisition. With these funds, TLC can protect over 580 acres across 9 proposed projects and leverage an additional $8 million in project funds. These projects include about a 100-acre tract along the Neuse outside of Selma that will provide a critical connection for the Mountains to Sea Trail corridor and East Coast Greenway, as well as a wonderful future nature preserve for all county residents. It also includes 4 family farms that would preserve over 300 acres of prime farmland. 4 of the projects have pending grants from the North Carolina Land and Water Trust Fund and the North Carolina Agricultural Development and Farmland Preservation Trust Fund, for which additional county support will help improve our ranking in our statewide competitiveness. We are so thankful for the county's past support and believe that we have to do everything we can to support the conservation of high-quality natural areas as well as family farms in the county. Last time when I came and spoke to you, Commissioner Stevens asked about how Johnston County ranked for farmland loss. I went back and looked at the report, and Johnston County ranks first in North Carolina for projected farmland loss and 19th overall in the country. Some of the peer communities that are experiencing this kind of loss include suburbs of Phoenix, Arizona, San Antonio, and Houston, Texas. I looked at the top 19 across the entire country, and Johnston County ranks first in the entire Southeast. So we are at a critical point where we need to do everything we can to protect what makes this county so special, including its important farmlands. In addition, we need to protect our future trail corridors and natural areas where the opportunity will be lost. We believe that all these projects will not hinder future growth, but will help support and help protect landscapes in the county that all residents, new and old, love. We are so grateful for the partnership with the county, and again, hope it will continue next fiscal year. With $820,000, we can leverage over $8 million in land value across the county. Again, this is spread in 9 potential projects that cover the entire county region. I brought a map and some more details on each of these. County funding and education will really help us leverage both state and federal funds, and I'd be happy to provide any more details on any of these or arrange a site visit for anyone who's interested.
So is what we have on the screen?
Yes.
Is that show the 9 projects, or, okay?
Yeah. And Brad.
I got one of those. It's the yellow star.
Yellow star.
Okay.
That would be
Okay.
Come here.
the projects in progress.
But, so that is the yellow stars?
Yep,
Okay.
the yellow stars are the projected properties for next year.
All right, any questions?
Give me your phone number.
No, sir, I don't have it.
All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you again.
All right, with that, that gets us through the ones that we had on the agenda wishing to speak. So next up. Come on. Yeah.
Hello, I'm Shauna with Special Olympics North Carolina. So today we're here to talk about Special Olympics Johnston County, one of our programs throughout the state of North Carolina. Special Olympics North Carolina supports individuals with intellectual disabilities throughout the state, with Johnston County being one of our local programs. I just wanted to kind of give a little introduction to myself. I'm a staff member in our Mooresville office near Raleigh. And then we have 2 folks here today to tell you a little bit more about how 2023 has been going and what we're looking to continue into 2024. So I will pass it off.
Hello, everyone.
Okay.
My name's April Grady, and I am coming to speak on Special Olympics behalf, Johnston County. Most of you all are familiar with seeing Miss Carolyn Stafford, and unfortunately we lost her in February of this year. And so we were very sad. She was a very special lady and did a lot for this program, and I'm hoping that we can step up and fulfill what she has done for this program and expand it for others that are in this area. So if you will, I shall go into what I have prepared as far as some information for you all. Thank you for allowing me the time to speak about Johnston County Special Olympics and to seek continued support from the Board of Commissioners. So far in 2023, Johnston County has offered sports training in alpine skiing, athletics, basketball, bowling, and swimming. At the 2023 Southeast U.S. Winter Games in February, we had 2 athletes, Brogan and Dawson, competed against athletes from North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, and Tennessee. Dawson and Brogan both had a great time participating in alpine skiing and competing against their fellow athletes. This year, Johnston County hosted spring games over 2 days at Smithfield-Selma High School with 291 athletes competing in track and field events and 124 young athletes. Young athletes are 2 to 7-year-olds who participate in our educational play-based program. Our volunteers for spring games included members from the community, Johnston County public school employees, and middle and high school students. A little over a week ago, Johnston County took 18 athletes to summer games in the Raleigh area. We had 7 athletes in basketball, 4 athletes in bowling, and 7 athletes in swimming. Throughout the rest of 2023, Johnston County will offer sports training in bocce, softball, tennis, and equestrian. Those who participate in equestrian will have the opportunity to compete at Tryon Equestrian Center in Tryon, North Carolina. Those participating in tennis will compete at the Special Olympics North America Regional Tennis Tournament, that's a mouthful, in South Carolina, and the fall sports tournament that we have will be held in Charlotte, North Carolina. In 2024, Special Olympics Johnston County will continue to offer sports training and competition in alpine skiing, athletics, basketball, bocce, bowling, equestrian, softball, swimming, and tennis, with hopes to expand and attract more athletes to our sports opportunities. As we move forward, we aim to focus on retention of athletes when they graduate from school to keep them participating in Special Olympics. We want athletes and parents to understand that there is a year-round programming available for their athlete to take advantage of beyond the school setting. Special Olympics has offered my son the opportunity to meet new people and participate in many of the sports that he enjoys. Since joining Special Olympics Johnston County, he has increased his knowledge of the rules of the sport or activity he's played, advanced his skill set, and thrived as an athlete. We are grateful for this program and look forward to other athletes being able to do the same. Now, if y'all would allow me to, this is my son Dawson, and he has something he would like to say as well.
Welcome, Dawson.
Thanks for letting me talk about Special Olympics. I have been in Special Olympics over 10 years. I'm Thomas in softball, basketball, horseback riding, alpine, and rollerblading. In February, I went in Appalachian, moved up to the back division, which is the hardest show I had. Great time cleaning with everybody. At summer games, I played basketball with my team won first place. We had a lot of fun and brought home the gold medal. Special Olympics let me play football, like see my friends and keep the state.
What's your favorite sport? You listed a bunch of them there. So, do you have a favorite?
No.
No. All right.
Congratulations, we're very proud of you.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome. I just wonder, were you the top point scorer on the basketball team? Probably so. Oh, there you go. We like a little modesty, so we.
It's a team effort. Team effort.
Team effort. Yeah.
I have a question, Shauna.
Yes,
Yes.
Is there an age where the athletes age out of the program, or do they continue?
No, that's a great question. So anyone 8 and older is considered an athlete. Again, we have those 2 to 7-year-olds for those more developmental programming, but there is no cap on the age.
Okay.
So an athlete can continue as long as they choose to.
Great. Good.
Did you have an amount that you were asking for the county? Is that what you're?
It was
here for?
15,000.
15,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions or comments? All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ms. Harbor.
Good evening, Commissioners. I am Kay Johnston, the Executive Director of Harbor of Johnston County. On the behalf of Harbor's Board of Directors, members who are present with me this evening, Harbor advocates, and the victims and survivors that we serve, we say thank you. We thank you for your continued support for the mission of this organization. Your years of support for the mission has galvanized Harbor to assess the changing and growing needs of our county, encouraging us to make a concerted effort to strategically approach how we meet the specific and individualized needs of the survivors within this county. Over the past year, we have learned that in order to enhance the quality of life for the present and future generations of the people of Johnston County, our services must become more collaborative. I must pause here to state that we have well-established partnerships within our community. Our partnerships with Johnston County Health Department and Johnston County DSS allow Harbor to operate more efficiently by making referrals to the experts. Our partnership with local corporations, small businesses, as well as other nonprofits allow Harbor to extend our reach, maximizing resources beyond our scope of service or our mission. And I cannot say enough about our community support, in-kind donations, volunteer hours, or a hot meal for clients. These collaborative partners are the reason why we strive to operate more efficiently and become more effective. But there is always room for improvement. If you will have asked me 7 years ago, I would have provided you with a laundry list of what I thought we needed to do as an agency. But this time, we asked questions, we listened, and we heard. We heard that the expectation that one bilingual advocate can meet the needs of over 250 adult ESL JOCO citizens that seek our services is not realistic. We heard that the expectation that Harbor can serve over 2,800 domestic violence and sexual assault victims as of May 2023, with the trajectory to exceed our capacity by 27% as compared to last fiscal year, the highest capacity since I've been at Harbor. We heard that in order to provide services to over 200 individuals, 98 of whom are children, who do not meet the mission of our organization, but identify themselves as homeless. We heard that we must implement a better strategy to aid those who walk through the courthouse corridor, daily needing to file a domestic violence protective order, because we never know when his or her significant other will contact one of our partner agencies wanting to know the location of Harbor. This occurred last week. Our advocates wake up daily knowing that we have to be all in when we enter the office. Why? Because within this industry, we know that what we do or do not do can make the difference between someone surviving violence or not. Your support during this past fiscal year has been greatly appreciated. But how can we continue? What is the return on your investment? The return on your investment for continual support is a bilingual staff to be present to ensure that coverage occurs 24/7. Your continued support is for for advocate, triage advocate, to make sure that that person is present to ensure that calls that do not meet our mission, meet the mission of our organization, will still be addressed. And these calls we will follow up on. These are the 200 and some individuals who called us on this past fiscal year and identified themselves as homeless. The return on investment is an additional core advocates that will be available to aid victims in completing their orders online
to decrease the wait time between processing the orders in the clerk's office and seeing the judge. Currently, we are assisting individuals in completing those orders through paper. It is our goal to move forward to assist individuals coming in to complete those orders through Odyssey. We need additional support for that. Right now, it takes an advocate anywhere between 2 to 3 hours to assist someone in completing a domestic violence protective order. We know that that time frame will increase by assisting them online. And finally, your return on investment will allow after hours advocates to be available after hours and during the weekends to travel to the new detention center to aid victims in completing orders so the magistrates can focus on other pertinent matters. We recognize that we have established some lofty goals, but as I indicated before, in order to enhance the quality of life for the present and future generations of the people of Johnston County, our services must become more collaborative. Thank you for your time, and we welcome your continued support for this upcoming fiscal year to ensure that we have the staff in order to serve the capacity that we are now seeing within this county.
Any questions?
How much you asking for?
$325,000.
How many FTEs do you have?
We currently have 9.
9.
Based on what you said, it sounds like part of this funds will go towards hiring more staff to be, like you said, bilingual and 24 hours, so that you have that triage person that you mentioned that can reroute all of these people constantly.
Exactly. We found that for the calls that we received since last fiscal year, particularly those homeless calls, when individuals are calling and families are calling, as I indicated, 98 children, it's difficult to just tell them that they do not meet our scope of service. Our advocates have been taking it upon themselves to find resources within our community in order to refer these individuals to. This triage advocate will not only make the referral, but also follow up to ensure that individuals, particularly families, are being connected. We understand that an increase in homeless population is also an increase in violent crime, and this is our way of addressing that issue.
Thank you.
What is your facility status now?
We will start moving in next week.
All right. That's good.
Yes, sir.
That's good.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Yeah, and for clarification, last year we had the 75,000 for I would say general operations, and then we had a 250,000, which was actually a $500,000 request to be paid over 2 years. So this would be the second year.
Correct.
Of that 250.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'll just say again, thank you for all you do, and as someone who's been through experienced a family that had domestic violence, it's special to me, and thank you for all that you do for that. So thank you.
Well, thank you for your continued support. Any additional questions? Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else wishing to come forward with a request or a comment on the budget? All right, any comments from the commissioners? Oh, here we go, here we go.
Ben Olson.
Good evening, folks.
Good evening.
Hey, Ben.
So good to see you again. Feels like it's been about 7 years now. I can just about measure it to my daughter's age, my oldest daughter. And that's about the time we started partnering with y'all for funding here at the rescue mission. And we're just so grateful. I'm always grateful to be with you gentlemen here and lady, Ms. Stevens. So just looking down the list of needs, we have a lot of needs this year, as is every year. That just never changes. There will always be need. But also, I need to recognize a couple of people. My mom and dad are with us today. You're looking at the founders of the mission right here. Come on up. And I just have them to say a word and hello. And
well, hello to all of you. It's good to be back in your presence. I've seen probably all of you somewhere or another, and it may be in here. And we do appreciate the support we've had from you guys. And yes, the Olsons are still around. We're still involved. I actually teach some classes. I have a series of classes I teach, New Life classes, to help people with their physical, emotional, and spiritual needs. A Bible class, yes, for the spirit. An emotional and mental is dealing with feelings and the inside, the soul, the inner spirit, and also the physical. We have what I call money web or money jungle.
I remember Larry Burkett. I remember that name.
And the guys they really enjoy it, get a lot out of it, and I hope they put it to practice. But they are working on their budgets, on doing budgets, and we're thankful for that. And we do a little bit on food safety and nutrition, and that takes care of the whole person. Whole person needs to be whole. You need all these areas working to have a whole of yourself. And I'm just thankful that Ben has been able to come in and pick up where Paul and I had to drop back a little bit. We're part-time, but we still are very involved, and we thank you all.
And we feel them full-time. It feels like it. So just love having them around. And you underestimate that in the early years, and then as time moves on, you're like, man, I hope they stay for another 20. But if I'm looking down a list here, this past year we've served a few less clients this past year, but we've had such better outcomes this past year than we have probably in the previous 2 years. And I don't know if that's maybe due to some relaxed COVID restrictions and things like that, but people are finding housing, and we're finding housing for them a lot easier this year. We've been partnering with a couple of different groups on that. One is Community Action. They've been helping us to really locate and pay for some of their housing as they go in. And we've had quite a few extra success stories this year, more than we had last year, even serving less clients. Of course, they're staying longer periods, but when they stay longer periods, stability just builds to a certain point, of course. Not a forever home at the mission, but it's a temporary home. Lots of different age demographics, 18 to 72 for the men. Of course, birth to 13, the children, and 18 to 68 for the women that we serve. Those are the age range. And I've got another fact that just kind of occurred to us this past week as we were preparing for this, that 94% of the women and the children that came through our shelter, our Women and Children's House, 6 months later, at least 6 months later, are still in housing and still working. Talk about success. It's been amazing to watch. And as they stay in contact with us, they stay in contact with Kate, and she's done an amazing job, continues to do an amazing job. even in the face of adversity. She's been great. So last year we provided 6,721 nights of safe shelter and provided 21,805 meals in-house and gave away 221 complete family food boxes with all the staple essentials, as well as snacks for kids and other things that they need, toiletries and things like that. We call that stuff a small part of what we actually do. Those numbers are small compared to the life changes that happen in the doors and outside of our doors after they've moved on, because they pick their program up and they take it with them. They don't abandon their personal program after they leave. So yeah, these numbers don't convey the real hope and the turnaround and life changes made by people like Willie, Michael, Destiny, and Aaliyah, her daughter, and just many others like that. We're an active part of redemption and transformation every day. And how grateful am I to be a part of that, to be able to share that with y'all every year. And as I see you throughout the year. So that said, we're facing some building repair costs as well as some equipment and tech and appliance needs that we have, some upgrades that are going to be major, and some pretty large expenses this year as opposed to last year and the year before. The buildings, we've got a great situation with our buildings. We've got a good building for men and women. For men, that building holds 21 people, 21 beds. It's a nice old concrete church. I mean, how many of you know what a church looked like in 1952, or about that time? Just a concrete, great structure, but, you know, air conditioners go out. And as you look down this list that I'll hand you, y'all can take these and pass. And you'll see those things that are breaking, or we're in need of something, of those things being repaired. So yeah, we're facing some major things, but we know that it always comes. God always provides, and we're just so grateful for you, because looking at this last 7 or 8 years, y'all have been part of something that changes so many lives here, and this is an exciting time for us too. We're coming up on 46 years this year of service. Mom and Dad are coming up on 50 years of ministry to people who are homeless and people who are in need. And I probably don't even have to tell you the sacrifices they made. I probably don't even have to. Most of you probably know. And it's a sacrifice to do this work. But I'd rather sacrifice to do this work than doing something I'm not called to do. And what an amazing pleasure it is to serve this county, to serve the Triangle and East, and we're just really grateful for your support in that. And I will open up for any questions if you have any.
Any questions for Mr. Olson?
I have a comment. I'm going to date myself and you. I remember the first request you came with, and you said that this is the first time in history that night that you ever had to request for money, and that you really wasn't good at it. But you had never been before the county before requesting funds.
It's been some time, hasn't it?
Both of us had more hair, I think.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I can mark my hairline.
I think back when the bank brought me back to Johnston County in '96, one of the first people I remember seeing at the bank was Mr. Paul, Miss Margie.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
One of the many things you could say for them is they paid their bills. Oh, wow. I mean, what a heritage. What a heritage to be part of. And a good name is to be, I can't quote the scripture off the top of my head, but a good name is precious as gold.
And I appreciate your service to the people, and And Mr. and Mrs. Olson, I can't see Mr. Olson, there he is over there. Your life is truly a life of service. I mean, as long as I can remember, you have been taking care of the homeless folks in this county, and your work has changed many lives, and we appreciate what you've done. And it's really an honor. Thank you for all you've done. We appreciate you.
Any other questions? Thank you, Mr. Olson.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you, sir.
you, Ben.
Thank you all.
Anyone else wishing to come forward and speak?
Good evening, Commissioners.
Good evening.
How are you?
Thank you all for allowing me to speak. I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update. Last year, I came before the board regarding pay studies and market adjustments and such. And just wanted to let you know, we're in the process of going through our alternate year market adjustment and to maintain our pay, make sure it's competitive. And we're anticipating to make those adjustments in the fall of this year. And luckily, the money has already been put in the budget. So if anybody has any questions, I'll be glad to answer those.
Any questions for Ms. Hickey?
I will make a statement. Ms. Hickey, I appreciate all your work on this because it's vitally important. And we made a massive move last year to get our employees to where they should be. And you know, this board set that as a priority to be, the county employees was going to be one of our strategic priorities. And I'm happy to see that you're continuing that. And I hope that the future boards will continue that as well, that our human resources are so valuable to the service that we provide the people. And thank you for doing that.
Absolutely, I totally agree. Without our employees, it would be very hard to serve all those that we do here in the county. So thank you.
Absolutely.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.
Mr.
Hester.
Board members, I just wanted to mention something that may or may not come up, but you may recall several broadband companies came before the commissioners about a year ago to make presentations to the board about great grant awards from the state for broadband service. And so that they had the first round, and now we understand there may be some, I call it leftover funds for other companies to come in and do some work in Johnston County. One of those companies actually contacted me last week and wanted to make sure, and they presented to the board, it was actually Loomis, in the event that they are awarded, and we would say the same for any of them. If the case they are awarded any of these leftover broadband funds, that the commissioners would still participate in the match. And their particular match, it was $50,000. So I want to just bring that to the board. I told them I felt like the board would do that because it is a part of the Great Grant Program, but I would bring it to the board. What I'd like to do is get more information, if you're okay with this, about the scope of that project now versus the way it was when it was presented, and come back with a recommendation of up to a certain dollar amount match. If that,
That's
if
good.
That meets the
I'd love
board.
to see
Is
it
Loomis
happen.
the only one of the ones that came before who are back, or could it be any one of the?
It could be any one of them.
Okay.
They were just asking if they were
Okay.
selected in Johnston County.
This effort to go after the leftover funds, is that outside of the announcement they made 3 or 4 weeks ago?
Great point, Mr. Godwin. That is outside of the commitment that they are making in Johnston Hornet on another project.
Okay.
So
good.
again, this is more for all of those, but it just came up this week, and I wanted to see if the board concurred with that. I'll come back, if whoever's awarded, I'll come back with a recommendation based on the scope comparisons of their original presentation.
Right.
Okay. Thank y'all.
All right. Thank you. Anyone else? All right. We will meet again on the 19th and discuss and approve our budget at that meeting. So without any other questions or comments?
I have a comment,
All
Mr.
right.
Chairman. The Fire Tax Committee met this past Thursday, in which we listened to 7 fire departments for fire tax increase. So we're under discussions now with the committee. Us three, so it just happened to be sitting here all three together. but I thank Vice Chairman Harris and Chairman Lauder for meeting with us, with those 4 to 5 departments. If every request was granted, it'd be a $4 million, about a $4 million increase for the fire departments. So we're in discussion, and we'll have a decision by next Monday night. I think we don't have a choice, but we
That's
will.
right.
Okay, so thank you. We'll keep you updated.
All right. Did that make anybody else think of anything else we need to talk about? All right, do I hear a
Chairman, I
motion?
move we adjourn.
All right. Second. Have a motion and a second to adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. We are adjourned. Thank you.
I thought you were-